Spider-Man, Anaconda, Anaconda. जो है ये जिसने अभी ना सामने वाले ने अपना वो नहीं करा कैमरा को अपना बुझाएगा
Good morning, participants. You all are welcome to this webinar, and I would request all the participants to stop making these annotations, because in this case, whosoever is making the annotation will be identified and he will not be given any certificate, as we will mark him absent. So please avoid this practice. And in another 5 minutes, we are going to start the webinar with the due permission of our convener, Mr. Gaurav Bansal. Gaurav sir, shall we start? And should we wait for 2-3 minutes? Gaurav Bansal sir, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we can start within 2-3 minutes.
Okay,
Our
definitely.
guest speaker are with us, so we can start within 2-3 minutes.
Okay, sir, definitely, sir. Okay. So our speaker, Mr. Jaspreet Singh, has joined. So we will be starting the session in couple of minutes. Thank you. So good morning to one and all present here. I, Dr. Bharti Kukreja, extend a heartfelt welcome to all the faculty members and students from B.S. Anandpuriya Institute of Technology and Management, Faridabad, and from other prestigious institutions from all over the India. We have Mr. Jaspreet Singh with us. He will be speaking on the topic, the role of quality in the industry. He is a certified lead auditor and is a working professional in risk management and usability engineering. He has been associated with Imperial Auto Industries, Samsung India Electronics, Honda Cars Limited, and presently working with Stryker Corporation. He has got familiarity with mechanical process, which includes injection molding, sheet metal process, rubber extrusion, printing and coating, physical vapor deposition. He is also familiar with the different aspects of packaging process, including stream and electric congregation, offset printing, flex printing, screen printing, rigid boxes, expanded polystyrene, manufacturing, etc. And as far as SMD process is concerned, he is familiar with AOI, wave soldering, reflow soldering, ICT, etc. He has a rich experience of working on the functions of different components like plastic, molded, sheet metal, tubing, which includes rubber and AL, heat exchanger, rubber extrusion as a part of, as I told you, mechanical process, and wiring, harness, display, which includes LED and OLED, vibration motor, speakers, microphone as a part of electrical process, and starter motor, wiper motor, AC generators, AC compressor, brushed DC motor as a part of electromechanical process. He is also familiar with the different components of the mechanical process, which includes the functioning of carters, which includes mono and fluted, rigid boxes, expanded polystyrene, thermoformed component, as I told you, as a part of packaging process. So let me hold on and hand over the session to Mr. Jaspreet Singh. Yes, sir, now it's your turn.
So, hi Bharti, hello team. Let's run through the checks. First of all, are you guys able to hear me? Please confirm me, Bharti.
Yes, we all are able to hear you, Mr. Jaspreet Singh.
Great, great. So I'm going to present my screen, then we'll run our check on that as well.
By the time, sir, you work on your screen, I have to make few instructions and information is to be passed to the participants. First, like due to some network issue, if you get disconnected and you go out of the Zoom session and you're not able to get into the Zoom session, so let us announce you that this same session is also going on live on the YouTube session. So you can also like visualize and watch this session on the YouTube. And one more thing, a feedback link will appear at the end of the session or towards the end of the session in the chat box. chat box means in the Zoom chat box as well as in the YouTube chat box. So it is compulsory for all of you to give the details through that link, because on the basis of that your certificate will get generated and sent on your mail. This link is workable only after half an hour after they finish on and like conclusion of the session. One more thing we would like to inform you, since as per the software we are able to generate only 100 certificates per day, so please bear with us and please wait and be patient, as you will be getting the certificates in 1 or 2 days maximum. Thank you so much. Sir, please continue.
Sure, thank you. So I just shared my screen. Please confirm me if you guys are able to see my screen. Bharti ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's absolutely visible, sir.
Makes sense. Okay, so here we begin. So hi guys, I'm going to speak on role of the quality in industry. The the statement which I make regarding quality is doing the right thing, doing the things right by doing the right things. So everybody has a different definition on quality, but we'll come to that. And I'll speak about my experience in the past, although Bharti ma'am has already spoken about it. So I have a total of 9 years of quality assurance in quality assurance and quality control and new product introduction. And I'm a bachelor's in mechanical engineering from BSA ITM. And then I'm a certified lead auditor from for ISO 13485 and ISO 9001. What these are, we'll get back to that. These are quality management systems. Also, I'm trained on risk management system 14971 and usability engineering. Few of my Gallup strengths include self-assurance, analytical, ideation, focus, and individualization. These are the top five. Um, my functional experience, I have had a chance to work on risk file remediations, which includes risk analysis, risk evaluation, mapping of risk control. So a lot of stuff with risk estimations. Secondly, I have had a chance to work on new product development, where I have been conducting line trials for the PR, product readiness, production readiness, and quality verification and shipment release. Apart from that, I had spent something like 3.5 years on supplier quality assurance, where I had been conducting quality process audits, quality system audits, and product liability audits. Then, apart from that, I have had a chance to work on post-market quality, analyzing the customer complaints from medical devices, patient care, and patient handling. Then, in addition to that, incoming quality control. So that is where from I started my career. I did parts inspection, did reliability and performance testing, evaluated gauge R&R, defects analysis, and then PP and PPK assessments and supplier ratings. So for a brief period of my in my career, I had a chance to work on market and customer quality as well. So it's a diverse domains I have worked on within quality. And since it is a very busy slide, and Bharti ma'am have already walked you through all the familiarity of the components I have and the processes I have, I'll leave you for 10 seconds to read through the content in the second half of the slide. Okay, so moving forward, let's have a look at the career snapshot I had. So I started with Imperial Auto Industries in June 2010. So I worked there for 7 months as a graduate engineering trainee. I worked there in quality assurance and quality control also. So they were into manufacturing of fluid transmission products. So we were actually making hoses. Uh, so people who are involved in mechanical and automobile, they would be understanding what a hose is. They are actually used to transmit the fluid to radiator to AC, a lot of places within the car. Then post that, I joined Samsung India Electronics. I started in January 11. There I was a supplier quality auditor. And then I worked in new product and model introduction for GSM LTE telecommunication phones and tablets, where we call it HHP, handheld phones. Then apart from that, I had a chance to work in incoming parts inspection, different products. Post that, I joined Honda Cars India Limited, August 15 to April 17. Again, supplier quality introduction, assurance, and new model introduction for the frame assembly division. Presently, I am working with Stryker Corporation. I started here with post-market surveillance, PMS, or you say customer support also. And then now I'm working in risk management with R&D. Okay, so as I stated, we are going to talk about what quality is. Different people have different definitions about quality, but we'll have a look at how people define it. So first one is quality is fitness for the purpose. So as simple as that, if any product is able to serve the purpose, it's able to fit that purpose, then it is of good quality. For example, if I need a red pen to write on a paper, and for instance, I open my drawer and find a red pen, it just gives a red ink, that's a fitness for the purpose. So it is good quality for me at that moment. That's what is required. Other way, people do define it as quality is degree of customer satisfaction. So this comes from the service department. So companies who are involved in providing services, they define it this way in terms of satisfaction. For a simplest example, if I have to walk my car into a service center and I get it serviced there, um, towards the end, he will give me a feedback report and he'll ask me how satisfied I am, and I'm going to rate them on a scale of 1 to 5. So 5 being the highest, I say that I'm highly satisfied. But if I see some errors in the service they have done, or maybe it's not clean, so I'll say I'm not satisfied or I'm dissatisfied. So they may ask you the reason why it is. So this is how service department defines quality. The quality is accuracy in meeting the specification or design. So this is coming from manufacturing. All the companies which are involved in manufacturing, they would say, they would use the term as accuracy, they would use the terms as specification. So where these specifications are coming from, it's the customer. It's us who's defining these specifications. How big the phone should be, we tell. Why? Because we have to measure the distance between our ear and the mouth. So phone is supposed to be this big. Then how big a hand is, those are the specifications which are involved in building a handheld phone. So this is one of the examples. So while building any of the phones, we have to check how accurate we are towards the specification. So that's one of the definitions from manufacturing. So quality is meeting the standards or norms. This is coming from quality management, or most of the companies declare that they are confirmed with ISO 9001, 14001, 27001, or for instance, say 27001 or 13485. So this basically means if a company is compliant to a particular standard, they have a good quality product. So quality is also said to be a degree of excellence. Yeah, so this is the various ways how people define quality throughout the industry. So having set the foundation for what quality is, we are going to talk about what is the objective for our today's discussion. So we'll be talking about quality control, what the concept is, and how we are going to implement it. Then we have quality assurance, what the concept is, how it is implemented within the industry. And then we will talk about, after we have quality control in place, after we have quality assurance in place, we're going to talk about how to improve the quality within an organization and what steps are involved in it. So that concept we are going to talk about. And before we proceed further, I just want to give you a brief idea, a brief description about how people perceive quality. And there's a small video from the Juran Institute. So I'm few of the people here in this group would be aware who Juran was. So he's one of the quality gurus who has given us a lot of principles in quality. So let's have a look what is coming from the Juran Institute. Okay. Okay. You share. Um, so let's listen to the Juran Institute.
So I think voice is not audible.
Bharti ma'am, is the audio for the video available?
Sir, video is being seen with little disturbance, but it's okay. But audio actually is not visible. We cannot hear the video.
Oh, okay. Let me start this thing again and see if this works. Give me a sec. Please let me know, ma'am, if it is any better now.
Sir, voice is still not being heard.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll brief you guys what she's talking us through. So she's saying that reaching an agreement on quality is not an easy thing because quality means different to everyone. And what is there any way IT can work us through this glitch? Why is this audio being not heard? Because yesterday we tried and it was working fine. Anyway, never mind. I'll continue with the presentation in that case. So basically, he was describing that different people have different understanding about the quality, and what he was saying, like there are two different cars. One is a Japanese manufacturer called Nissan, and other one is a Rolls Royce. So two different people have different preferences. One who looks for features and function and a premium finish in the car would opt for a Rolls Royce. On the contrary, somebody who's more towards economy and less maintenance, he would opt for a Nissan, which is much more efficient and less expensive to handle. So different people have different definition. This is what this video was about. And let's not get hung up on this one. Moving forward, so what is the contents of all the things we're going to talk today is quality assurance activities, quality control activities. We'll have an overview about the quality, what quality control is, what's the goal and implementation of quality control, quality assurance goal and implementation. Okay, moving forward, let's have a look at how the various departments in quality exist. So first thing is quality control. Then we have quality assurance. We have quality engineering. Within quality control, we have IQC, incoming quality control. We have LQC, line quality control. We have in-process quality control, and we have final quality control. So as the names are suggesting, so if you consider an organization where the raw material is coming in, so the first role which is done by the quality is doing the incoming inspection of that quality. So they're going to, whatever the lot or the batch we are receiving, we are going to do the inspection on sampling basis, or the whole lot is being tested, depending on the requirement. Then line quality control is while you are using these raw materials and you are using them to produce a finished product. So during the processes, the subsequent processes, you're going to perform inspections. Similar thing is done by in-process quality control also. And then we have final quality control, which is also said outgoing quality control. So this department is responsible for ensuring the quality control of a final product before it reaches the customer. So this is all about the QC over here. Moving on to the QA, quality assurance. We have different departments over here. Starting on with SQA, that is source or supplier quality assurance. We have DCC, so they are document control center. This department holds the responsibility for managing and maintaining all the documents which are going to be used in the quality management system in the organization altogether. So then we have PQA, that's process quality assurance. So this team is responsible for ensuring that everything that has been set as a process in the industry is working well enough to produce a product that well meets the customer requirements. Then we have final quality assurance. Again, this department is responsible to manage the final inspections. Those are being performed. So they are going to audit those departments. They're going to check whether the final quality control is doing the right job. Moving forward to quality engineering, so this department does exist, but not in every organization. Most of the time, the responsibilities are merged with QA as well, but there is a separate segment of separate department which does these different roles. So the first one is DAS, which is defect analysis system. So this department is responsible for analyzing the defects, as the name suggests. And then we have failure analysis. Again, what all failures are happening within the organizations, they are going to analyze those. Then we have continuous process improvement team. Some of the organizations do mention this as business process improvement team as well, but the responsibility of this department is to seek wherever the improvements can be done, and they encourage teams to drive projects. Then we have customer service. This team is basically interacting with the customers, and they try and learn what the repercussions or what the failures the customer is facing, and they bring back the word to the organization and try and pass on those information within the department so that we can drive improvement projects. So this is all about the quality department, how it is branched. Let's have a look at the QA activities in manufacturing. So the quality assurance, so the first task they have is implementation of QMS. What QMS is, it's a quality management system. What quality management system is, these are set of policies and procedures which are set within the organization so that the system can run smoothly. Then moving forward, they have control and update of revision of QMS documents. They keep eye on all the documents which needs updated based on the feedback during the audits and other procedures which happen within the organization. Other responsibilities they have is conduct internal audits and coordinates with ISO certified bodies for certification. We'll talk a little more deep on this subject of the audit in the following slides. So for now, it's like they are going to conduct internal audit and they coordinate with the third parties like BSI, TUV. These are the organizations they get in touch with. Additionally, they coordinate with client for external and third party audits. So this is another kind of audits where an external agency is going to visit your organization and audit for a compliance. Then other one is maintain and control manual and SOP and WI. So every organization maintains a quality manual where they're going to describe what all equipments they have, what all infrastructure they have, how much is the strength of their departments, how they're managing their trainings. So all those kind of stuff goes into manual. All the procedures and processes are listed over here. PQCTs. Moving forward, control and monitoring of NCRs and CARs. What are NCR? Non-conformance report. Whenever an audit is done and we find that anything is not in compliance with the standard or the procedures we had established, so we issue a NCR, non-conformance report, which is circulated to the respective department who is going to take care and improve that process. Then followed by that is CAR, corrective action reports. So these reports, basically once you have analyzed what the issue was and you came up with a solution, you did a correction. So you share that corrective action report throughout the departments across the organization to say that we have already done, we have already taken care of these defects. So I have few samples of these documents which we can see towards the end of this presentation. Then we have second party audits of vendors and subcontractors. So basically suppliers, audit of the suppliers you're going to do, that will be taken care of by quality assurance. Okay, moving forward, we have preparation of documentation and quality related procedures. So they're going to prepare the documentation for you, procedures for you. But the quality checks and all documentation, that is a separate agenda. So they also conduct quality review meeting. I'll give you an example. So whenever, so on a regular basis, the quality review meeting happens where different department, representative from the different department will join and they'll talk about what the current defect rate is, what the current defect trend is, and then what are the causes for those and how we're going to improve on that. So all those things are being discussed in quality review meetings. So this is all role of quality assurance. Review and analyze customer complaints and other reoccurring problems in the process. So whenever there's a feedback from the customer, that is also discussed by quality assurance and they review it. So far so good. Moving forward with quality control activities in manufacturing. So they own responsibility to carry out stage and final inspection and preparation of associated reports. So the quality control, as the name suggests, they are responsible for controlling the quality of any product within an organization. So how we are going to control it? We're going to do the inspection. How the inspections are being done? So for some of the times, if the batch is smaller, you do a whole batch inspection. But for some of the times when it is a huge lot, when the production quantities are huge, for instance, in terms of Samsung, like we were producing something like 3 lakh phones in a day, 300,000 phones in a day. So we were doing sampling inspection. So it's actually not possible to inspect every part. So you do a sample inspection, you choose a sample size based on the lot size, and then you do the inspections. Apart from that, material inspection during receiving and before the issuance to fabrication, the way I explained, same happens in incoming, same happens during outgoing or final inspections. Apart from that, they do process control and monitoring of the repair rates. So while the production is on and one process hands over their product to another process, in between, there's a quality control check. So before passing on to any customer, we do a quality check. I have an example in the subsequent slides as well. for this one. Then we have supervision of non-destructive testing. So testing or inspection are of two kinds. One is destructive and one is non-destructive. So they are responsible for taking care of non-destructive testing. And for destructive testing, different companies handle it differently. For example, if I talk about automobile industry, where one of the critical component is engine, so they have engine test benches and they run the engine for longer duration, something like 36 hours at a continuous RPM of 4,000. So if the engine performs well within that stipulated time, it is determined that the quality is good. But on the contrary, there is a separate kind of inspection where we run the engine until it fails, until it yields. So that is a destructive testing. So quality control is involved in the supervision of non-destructive testing. What are the kind of inspections they do and what is that they inspect? So first of all, what they inspect, basically every product has a design, has a dimension, has a drawing. So each drawing will tell you what to inspect. Not every dimension can be inspected. So while the design is on, you basically term few of the inspections as critical to function, or called as CTF. Or some other companies use the terms called CQAs, critical quality attributes. So these specifications are going to be tested during the inspection. So these specifications are testing during incoming goods inspection, the way I told incoming quality control. They'll have marking and layout inspection. So for products like hoses, which have a profile because it has to move through engines and other chambers of the car. So there is a specific profile that needs to be there. So they'll make sure that the layout, the profile of the hose is perfect. Then again, fit up inspection, when you assemble something, it should fit. There are different kinds of fit. I'm very sure you guys have learned about it, running fit, sliding fit. So these all fit up inspections they do. Then they do visual inspection for any kind of defect. For a simple example, if I give you a phone which has scratches on it, you're certainly going to complain back to the organization saying it has visual defects. It has cosmetic defects. So visual inspection is done. Then we have reliability test. So there are two different terms which exist over here. One is reliability and one is durability. The example I gave you regarding the engine testing, where you run it for a specific time, for a specific duration, and see whether it works well. So that is reliability. On the contrary, there is a durability testing also, where you want the engine to yield, where you want the engine to fail, and you want to note down the timeline by when it is going to fail. So that durability test gives you confidence that we are going to well perform in the reliability testing. So since durability testings are most towards the destructive testing, a very small batch is tested for durability testing. Then there are other preparation, surface preparation testing and painting inspection. When you look at any painted surface, for very small instance, there are a few phones which are being there are a few components in the phone which are being painted also, which has clear coat, base coat, and top coat. So those inspections are being done. And then packing and shipment inspection. Okay, going forward, there are few false beliefs in the industry about the concepts of quality. They say that quality is expensive and it lowers down productivity. That is not the case. I can assure you with my career of 9 years in industry, thinking that quality is intangible and it cannot be managed. They say that quality cannot be seen, which is false. Everybody of us can see quality in a product because we are economic customers today. Thinking that poor quality means poor worker, again, just want to comment on that. The statement itself explains well. Thinking that quality is responsibility of just quality department only. So here I want to bring an example of one of the organization I had luckily chance to visit. They were into manufacturing of cartons. So since we all have seen organizations which have quality department as a separate department, on contrary, this organization had given the responsibility of maintaining the quality to their production workers. So what all yield they were producing, it should be good quality. So they were incentivized. So this is one way to merge between quality and production department they had done. Thinking that quality is a role specific, only people who are responsible for quality are going to talk about it, not everybody else. Again, few other things like quality is someone else's job, not mine. This is again one of the false industry. Every individual in the organization is equally responsible for managing quality, for maintaining quality. Thinking that quality is not a major issue, it has little impact on the company. Believe me, many companies got shut down just because they were not able to give quality product. Because in today's world, every man is an economic man. They look into the cost incurred in maintaining that product. So yeah, we every one of us want a product which lasts longer. This is one of the examples of an organization which is ISO 9001 certified. And these are sequence of the processes involved in manufacturing of a product which goes to the customer. For example, if there is a bevel fit up, any product which is being fit up and then alignment is being done, and then it is being passed on to an assembly process. So between these two processes, you can see this small triangle, which says that there's going to be a quality check over here. Then again, subsequent from assembly to NDE, there is again one of the quality checks. So my point over here is like every process has a customer. Before going to that customer, there has to have a quality check. So here quality control is going to play a role. Before passing it on to any other process, we're going to do inspections. Where does quality assurance come into picture? So there are auditors and internal auditors. They're going to monitor the smooth functioning of all the process, and it should be in accordance with the procedure we laid out. Before the product is being passed on the customer, both QC and QA play a vital role uh, in determining a good quality product. Okay, so far so good. Moving on to the concept of quality control. So quality control is a process making sure that products or services are made to consistently high standards. So what all standards or specifications we have, we just want to adhere to those. For instance, if we have a specification for length of any product, let's suppose 4 plus minus 1 centimeters. So our objective at quality control is to see that most of the products uh, are towards the 4 centimeter range, which is the mean. Higher limit is 5, lesser is lower limit is 3. We just want to stick on to the central limit. Okay, so the quality control is product oriented. They deal with the product, they deal with ensuring that we are producing a good quality product, so they are product oriented. It coordinates the links between the following activities: specification of what is required. As I explained, specification come from customers. So we want, they play a vital role in ensuring that we are sticking on to the specification. And they have the components, elements of the products, inspection of the product to determine the conformance to the customer specification. So this is a lot of talking about the quality control, but I want to give you a glimpse of how quality checks are being done or quality testing is being done at Samsung. Few of the tests I want to show you. So again, I'm very sure you'll not be able to hear the audio of this video, but the video is interesting. Hold on a sec, I'll shift you guys to the video. Okay. Please help me, Bharti ma'am, if you are able to see a video screen now.
Sir, yes, screen is visible, but again, it's not audible actually, sir.
Yeah, that's because I have not played it yet. I just wanted a
Okay,
confirmation
okay,
if it
fine.
is on screen.
But the screen is still, actually, it's not a moving
Yeah,
screen.
yeah, because I did not play it yet. Thanks for the
Okay,
confirmation.
okay, fine, fine. Mr. Jaspreet Singh, your voice is not audible.
Sorry. Bharti ma'am, did you guys not hear me talking about the quality checks as well?
Yes, sir. Actually, you muted yourself, I think, I guess. Now it's good.
Oh,
Now it's coming.
I'm sorry for that. Do you want me to go back to the video and present that again, because it has a very vital information, but we are running short on time parallelly.
Yeah, it's 11:54, but even then, like, I think we missed only 1 minute part. So I think that's okay. If you can repeat, even then it will work.
Sure, makes sense. So what I was saying is there are a few checks which are being done at Samsung to ensure a good quality product. I hope you guys are able to see the video screen now, right? So this, what you're looking at is a drop test. We drop the phone from a height of 4 meters and inspect for any damages because it is in housing a lot of sensors, processors, so they should not be damaged. So we want to produce a phone that is more reliable. So this, what you're looking at is a splash test where you splash water on device and see if it is functioning well. Because this phone is going to be used in an environment which can be a rain environment. So this, what you're looking at is ingress protection 68 testing, IP testing, where we immerse the phone up to 1.5 meters of height in water, and then we leave it for 30 minutes. This, what you're going to look at is a thermal shock test where a phone is left into an environment of minus 20 degrees Celsius, where we anticipate the phone is going to be used in colder countries like Canada, like US. So it's going to be tested at minus 20 degrees Celsius. And just after a brief period of time, it will be shifted on to 60 degrees Celsius, which is extreme hot. After going through all those tests, the phone should still comply with the rigidity, the form factor. So this is a bend test which is performed, and I'm very sure you guys would have seen videos for your phones, your own. After all these extensive testing, we'll do an X-ray to see if there is any anomaly within the phone. Okay. I'm shifting back to the presentation now. Fatima, please give me a confirmation once it is up.
Okay, sir. Yes, our screen is visible, sir.
Makes sense. Okay, so how the quality control is implemented. So first step is inspection that involves the examination of a product, service, or process for certain minimum levels of quality. A product specification and the process specifications both. I'm very sure looking at the kind of inspection Samsung is doing, you have a pretty good clear idea of how it is inspected, how the inspections are done in the industry. Moving on to monitoring, they routinely gather information on all aspects of the activity. So here, there's a separate branch of quality that comes into a picture, which is called statistical process control. So once you have specification, you want to produce a product which is adhering to the specification. For that, you need to control it by doing statistical analysis. This is again a huge thing. People who are interested in quality can go ahead and check for this statistical process control. Then after you have all the monitorings done, you're going to record it, anything such as a document. So there can be inspection sheets, providing a permanent evidence of the information about the past evidences. A very simple example is like whenever you see a QC OK sticker or QC mark on a product, that means there's a record which was generated for inspection of this product. Okay, moving forward. The next slide. So the traditional QC processes include inspection of products and services that take place during and at the end of the manufacturing process. So there are a few limitations with quality control, which management generally speaks about it. The problem is it's not a value-added activity. So it will just prevent passing on the defective product to the customer, but as such, it is not adding any value to the product you are manufacturing. Again, too late. So once the defective product is produced, it's already too late. You cannot do anything. You can repair it although, but that will incur additional cost. So it is costly. Then there are human factors in inspection. So human factor in itself is a separate branch of science. I'm certified on human factors engineering. So here we take care of like different people will have different perception to the quality. So while they're inspecting, some people may say that this is good, some people may say this is bad and pass it and stop it. So this is again, there's a human factor involved in inspection. Again, one of the examples of implementation of quality control is this process simply describes there are raw material which is received, and before it is being passed for further processing, there is a quality check. Uh, and then after the production, it is being passed as a final product to the, before going to the customer, there's again a quality check. So this way, all the processes, as I explained, will have quality checks before it is passed on to the customer. So there is a small understanding about quality control, that's inspection for defects. If you are doing the inspection for detecting defects, it's already too late. You have already produced it, you have lost the value. So once I say you have lost value, the value is lost both for the customer also, because if the defect rate is too high, that cost is being to be accumulated into the price which a customer is going to pay for that product. So if we have a good quality control system in our organization, so we would be able to offer better prices. So this actually falsifies the belief which I mentioned earlier that quality is costly. Okay, this gentleman is Dr. W. Edward Demings. He's founder of Quality Evolution. He gave a very good principles. One of them includes PDCA, or we say at PDSA, plan, do, study, or check, and then act. So that is Demings' learning cycle. So he said that inspection with the aim of finding the bad ones and throwing them out is too late. It's already too late. Ineffective and costly. Quality comes not from the inspection, but improvement of the process. So you have to work on the process, and that is where SPC comes into picture. Okay. Moving forward to quality assurance, I will run through it now because we are running short on time. So it is a set of activities designed to ensure that the development and maintenance of the process is adequate to ensure the system will meet its objectives. So it's a process-driven approach with specific steps to help define and attain goals. The goal is to focus on the process that is involved and make sure you are doing the right things to ensure that the products and services meet the customer requirements at the highest standards. Okay, I just want to run through so that I can show you a few of the examples of the documents and the templates those are being used. Okay. So one of the roles of quality assurance, as I told earlier, is internal audit or first-party audit. So there are audits which is done within the organization. We'll define a certified internal auditor who's going to inspection the system and come back with NCs, non-conformance reports. And then there are external audits, which could be second or third party. So external, as in if we have a customer who's going to come us an audit, that's going to be second party audit. If we have a certifying agency, let's suppose we have BSI, then he's going to come us an audit for 9001 compliance, so that's a third party audit. And they're going to offer us a certification for 9001 compliance. Okay, I already talked a little bit about PDCA cycle, plan, do, check, and act. So in quality, everything is followed through PDCA. You plan something, then you do it, then you check whether it is effective, or you monitor the effectiveness of that, and then you accordingly you act. So this is an inevitable cycle which keeps on recurring, PDCA. So now by now you guys have understand what QC and QA is. So quality control emphasizes testing and blocking the release of the defective product. So they're going to block the defective product outflow in the market. And quality assurance is about improving and stabilizing the associated processes to avoid or at least minimize the issues that led to the defects at the first place. So this is preventive. Quality assurance is doing a preventive job, while quality control is doing a corrective job. Okay, we've talked a lot about quality control and assurance. Certainly we can skip this slide. Small comparison between QA and QC. Quality assurance makes sure that we are doing the right thing in the right way. That's the theme of our presentation today. Quality control makes sure result of what we have done are what we expected. They focus on building in quality and hence preventing defects, and QC focuses on detecting defects. QA deals with the process, QC deals with the product. QA is for the entire life cycle of the product, right from the scratch, from the design to when it is getting obsolete. So QA is for that. QC is for testing the parts in design SDLC, so development life cycle of the product. So QA is preventive process and QC is corrective process. Few of the sayings about quality: quality is never an accident. It is always the result of intelligent effort. The others say quality is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, intelligent direction, and skillful execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. This comes from William A. Foster, who was a Marine in U.S. Army. Okay, the last concept is quality improvement. Once you have QA and QC in place and you've identified the problems, you're going to move towards quality improvement. So these are the efforts taken to increase the efficiency of action and procedures with the purpose of achieving additional benefits for the organization and its user. Again, you're going to follow the PDCA cycle. So there is a continuous study and improvement of a process system for the organization. So if you want to improve something, you should have a complete understanding about that process. And the continuous process that identifies the problems, examines the solution to those problems, and regularly monitors the solution implemented for the improvement. So as I defined, there is a team available who does the analysis and talks about what needs to be improved. So they'll talk about what the deficiencies are there in the current process. Okay. So one thing about quality improvement, which is very particular, we talk about the graph of improvement. So there are two different kinds of graph. One is y is equal to mx, which is going to be a straight line graph, which is called continuous improvement. But the one which you're looking at, it talks about a steep rise, then stabilize, steep rise, and then stabilize. That's called continual improvement. You can learn about it more from online resources. Continual and continuous improvement. Okay, so before implementing, there are 5 crucial activities in quality improvement. So first of all, you maintain a communication. You define the problem very clearly. So this is the problem. What is the scope of the problem? You have to define which process is causing the problem. So that is a clear communication you need to maintain. Then correct the obvious problems. So whatever is obvious, for example, if there is a marking on the floor which is causing a very brief impact, very small impact on the quality of the product, so that obvious thing is to be corrected. And then moreover, you're going to study and research in detail about the problem. Okay, moving forward, we're going to look upstream. So what you're looking at is a Ishikawa fishbone diagram. We call it cause and effect diagram. We plot an effect over here, and then we look for what all the causes are there, which is causing this effect. So basically there are 4M plus E. We say man, material, method, machine, and environment is again one of the things involved while looking at the causes. We're going to document the problems which we have identified and monitor the changes. So we have to always measure the effectiveness of any improvement or any change we have done to the system so as to see an effect. One of the methodologies used for quality improvement is FADE. We focus on what is in scope, what is not in scope. So we define the problem very clearly. Then we have analyze. We do the analysis of any problem by doing fishbone analysis to identify the root causes. There are other methods also available. FMEA is one way to identify the causes. Then we develop based on the data we have accumulated from analyze and focus. We're going to develop a solution, and then that developed solution is going to be executed. And later on, as I said, evaluate. Evaluate is to measure the effectiveness of any improvement you have done in the system. So this is again one of the pie charts of FADE: focus, analyze, develop, and execute. So here we are going to differentiate between an ordinary company and quality improvement company. So ordinary company would say quality is expensive. Quality improvement company will say quality leads to lower cost. And this benefit is going to be passed on. The benefit of lower cost is going to be passed on to the customers as well. Inspection is the key to the quality. So ordinary company would say just by doing the inspection, it's sufficient. But the quality improvement company would say inspection is too late. We should have done a lot of things to maintain the quality while it was being produced. Defects are caused by workers, and we are going to expel the workers. That's not a solution. Quality improvement company, most defects are caused by the system. If you have a robust system, defects at first place would not be produced. Rewarding the best performers and punishing the worst will lead to greater productivity. That is one of the mindsets in the ordinary company, which is not going to work uh, for a long duration. But for a quality improvement company, they talk about where there is variation, common cause variation, special cause variation. So variation in itself is backbone of quality. While analyzing anything, you have to study where is variation, where from, what are the sources of variation. When you talk about ordinary company, they say profits are made by keeping revenue high and costs down. They're just emphasizing on keeping the cost down. But on the contrary, quality improvement companies will focus on profits. Those are generated by loyal customers. Okay. Uh, this brings us towards the end of quality improvement, where I would again state one of the statements from Dr. Deming. He said, everyone here has a customer. So I have a customer today that I'm delivering to an audience. Everybody else back there has a customer. Every process has a customer. And then if he doesn't know who it is and what constitutes the needs of the customer and work in the cycle of adjustment to the customer's needs, everything is based around customer needs. And what he can produce, then he does not understand his job. So somebody who understands how to adjust to customer needs understands his job, and he's doing the real work. That's what Dr. Deming had to say. So he said, satisfied customers are best. So I think we have covered up within time, and I can present a few documents how quality assurance or the quality audit templates look like. Just give me 1 sec, and then I'll be open for question and answers. I'm shifting on to a different file. So Fatima, I'll again need your support to get a confirmation if you're looking at the screen I'm presenting.
Definitely, sir.
Okay, so
Yet it has come out.
it has already come up. So it's an Excel
Yes.
file which says QSA check sheet.
Yes, yes. It's visible.
Great. This is one of the check sheets, or you can say inspection reports for a system audit, which I had been using in the past. So this is some of the brief information you collect about the company, who's the representative, what is the production capacity. So all this, how much is the floor area, how many are the employees, line workers. Many times you specifically talk about how much is the quality strength in an organization. So then there are different sections of audits, starting on with quality management, material control, rejected material management, product management. So these are like 15 sections which you inspect, and each section has separate checkpoints which are mentioned in the check sheet. But so having a brief look on this one, each section is tested for adequacy. Adequacy in the sense minimum there should be 70% in each section. So this is one of the criteria I had been following until now. So we evaluate based on the checkpoints, and then there are CTQs. This particular part, which is written in Korean, talks about CTQs, which is critical to the quality. Every process should have critical to quality checkpoints, and those should be met at least. The moment I make anything zero over here, the whole score is going to be zero. So at minimum, we should have CTQs. This is one thing which I want to give. And then we have a brief look at the radar chart, which tells you about which process is falling where. Looking at the check sheet, few of the things in quality management. Briefly, we'll walk out. Check if CS team is organized independently. So there is a requirement for customer support team that is organized independently, and there is a quality manpower satisfactory at 8%. This is one of the industry standards. We say minimum 8% of the quality staff should be available. Of all the total employees you have, 8% should be quality. Then again, check if self-audit or internal auditor. So like these, there are different quality checkpoints in a check sheet. This is how a quality system audit check sheet looks like. Okay, we're going to bring up a process audit check sheet. So this again has similar kind of evaluation points, a radar chart, but this is specific to each process. Like at present, what I'm showing you is for a product which has painting and coating available. So specific to each process, like painting process, EVA process, there'll be checkpoints over here. And you're going to judge them, give numbers on how well they are performing in those checks in these processes. And then finally, so there are countermeasures, the measures they have taken. Once you give them NCs, the problems, they will come back to you with counter actions, what they have done to improve it. So this is one of the templates which is being used to showcase how they are adhering to the quality. Okay. Let's have a look at an improvement theme. Bhati ma'am, I just started presenting one of the presentations of improvement theme. Let me know if that
Okay,
is
sir.
up.
Okay.
Is it up, improvement theme presentation?
Yeah, I feel so. It's visible.
Okay. So at first you're going to define the scope where the problem lies. Wherever the so this actually talks about two products, compressors and AC pipe. This is one of the presentation I created during my tenure with Honda Cars. So you talk about the scope where all the issues have been detected and where you're going to work, and then you measure it. How many number of cases have been reported? So these are the cases in incoming. These are on the main line, both segregated for AC pipe and compressor. Um, then you identify the areas which needs your attention. Gain by observation. You did a visit on the site and see what all improvement areas are still there in the process which needs improvement. You talk about those, identify those. Then you go into deep dive of model-wise and part-wise segregation, measuring in more detail. Yeah, so later on they will be giving you improvement plans, something like this. They'll give you a schedule, timing plan for hole punching and 8 die. So they're going to give you how much improvement they are doing and how they are doing it. So they're going to share some plans like these with you. You're going to review these. Because improvement doesn't happen in a single day. So this is one of the things I wanted to share. Okay. One of the pictures I wanted to share with you regarding the quality review meeting we discussed in our presentation. Bharti ma'am, is a picture available on the screen now?
Yes, absolutely.
So this is one of the pictures of a supplier quality review meeting where you're actually inviting the MDs of all the suppliers, and then you talk about what the problems are and what steps they are making or ensuring to improve the quality. So this is one of the glimpse of supplier quality review meetings. So there'll be people from different departments, from incoming quality control, from process quality control, and then you'll have an arena filled with suppliers or the representatives of the suppliers, and they'll present their action plans. Okay, so far so good. I am good from here, and I will pass on to Bharti ma'am if we have any questions on our presentation now.
Okay, we would like our participants to raise their hands if they have any question. Uh, do you have any participant? I guess there is no one. So in that case, Mr. Jaspreet Singh, I have a question. With your permission, I would like to ask a question from you. Although I am from a humanity side, but I also spent few years in corporate, and I was also taking care of the few certification jobs. But it is a
Okay.
long back, and now so many, quite a number of new concepts have come. So I have a question that there is a term like Kaizen. You might have heard of the term Kaizen.
Yes. Yes.
So how we use different quality control methods for the Kaizen? Like you enumerated few quality control method, like it was a fishbone diagram, and then there was a PDCA, and then there is one more quality control method, that is 5 whys. So
Yep.
how can we use these quality control methods in Kaizen?
So basically, Kaizen is a Japanese word which is widely used in the industry, and Kaizen basically means innovating something. So
Yes.
whenever you see any deficiency in the process, you do an analysis using 5Y or any other technique, whichever you find resourceful. You come up with the problems in the system, and then while developing solutions, Kaizen comes into picture. So generally, how in industry it happens, uh, we declare the problem statement to all our staff. I mean, whosoever is the relevant staff for that process. So they look into the problem definition and they suggest solutions. So whatever is the best solution we find, the management finds optimal, uh, we implement that solution. So this process of implementing a new idea for improvement is called Kaizen. This is how it
Okay.
happens.
I think in addition, I think Kaizen is also related to making small improvements.
So that's what I said. When you pass on the information to the employees, like this is the defect, so they will suggest you improvements. That's what I said. They'll suggest you improvements, and management would go through those suggestions of improvement, and they'll accept few of them, and they'll say that this is a Kaizen we're going to implement in the system now. So they are going to improve the system.
Okay. Sir, I have one more question from you. You know that there is a new term, that is lean manufacturing,
Yes.
which is being implemented in our industry. So
Yes.
how can we use different quality control and quality assurance methods in lean manufacturing?
So lean manufacturing is a technique which talks about what is value addition and what is non-value addition. So whenever you look at a process or an organization, you measure all the processes, you live down all the processes, and then you look at it, what is adding value to the product and what is not adding value to the product. So in the lean, we want to remove all the processes which are non-value addition. But inevitably, there are some new non-value addition processes which we cannot get rid of. For example, all the processes in quality control, which is not adding a direct value to the product, but they cannot be removed. So lean talks about removing the non-value addition processes. If that answers your question, or if you need more clarification.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So I guess there is no participant who has any doubt. So it means they are extremely satisfied. So
Okay.
with the due permission of our HOD Mechanical Engineering, Mr. Gaurav Kansal, and the convener of the event, we would like to wind up this event. Sir, shall we? Sir, अभी कम खत्म कर सकते हैं सर हम लोग?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Now, thank you very much, Jaspreet. Now, the session was very informative. Now, Jaspreet is our alumni of 2006 to 2010 batch. With the industry people will construct the bridge between industry and sincere thanks to our organizing team and our speaker and Bharti ma'am for making lot of uh, uh, spin to make the event that is successful. Now once I especially thanks to our management of this institute to provide the necessary support and permission. So Now Bharti, this meeting. Now, once again, thank
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. We are also thankful to our superiors of BS Anandpuri of Institute of Technology and Management who know their job well and are very much result oriented. So we are greatly indebted to our director, Professor Tyagi, Principal Sir Pawan Bhadana, and our convener of the event and head of department mechanical engineering for Mr. Gaurav Bansal for their cordial support. And I again express my sincere thanks to our speaker, whose like session was simply outstanding. And sir, we are thankful that you made out your time out of your busy schedule. So thank you so much. But last but not the least, um, we would like to say that we will be in touch with our participants as well as a speaker. For the speaker, we would like to be in touch with us for the guidance. And as for the participants are concerned, we would like to inform you that we have a series of webinars. So we will be in touch with you for time and again. And we would like you to be the part of the different seminars which are still in the pipeline. So this is not the end. Actually, it is just a part of different webinars. So thank you so much, but see you soon. Thank you so much. Feedback links is visible on the screen and it is also in the chat box. So we would like you to fill the details through the feedback link so that on the basis of that, your certificate will get generated and this feedback link is workable only half an hour after the event. Thank you so much and see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for a patient listener, for being a patient listener. And I really appreciate all the efforts team back there is making. And my sincere thanks to Gaurav Kansal sir for giving me this opportunity.
Okay, sir. Grateful to you, sir. Thank you, sir. Kansal sir, shall we wind up and leave?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.